Hey you guys, happy Saturday. It's Tracy Panase and I wanted to give you an update regarding consignor drop-off in lieu of the pending snow that they are forecasting for our area. So there are two things that we are unable to control with the spring sale. The first is the weather, which we're all aware of, and the second is the boat show. So we follow the Philadelphia Boat Show in Hall C every spring. And what you may not know is that we are racing to the finish to get things in place for consignor drop off at 5 o'clock. So we are limited in terms of what time we can start drop off on Monday. So I am going to talk to you about the things that we can control and some of the changes that we are going to make in anticipation of the snow and getting all of your stuff safely and quickly into the building. So the first thing is the drop-off schedule. I mentioned the boats, so it makes it difficult for us to say we're going to open up drop-off any earlier than 5 o'clock because of the boats. If we can, we will. However, for right now, the big change that we've made to the schedule on Monday, March 13th, is that from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., everyone is welcome to drop off. So whether you are a perfect consignor, a power consignor, a newbie, or you don't fall into any of those camps, everyone is welcome to drop off on Monday between 5 and 10 p.m. If you are a power seller and you have already signed up for a drop-off appointment, we want you to keep that appointment. That will help us to control the flow of people coming into the building. So no changes on your part if you've already signed up for an appointment. The only real change is if you were not a perfect consignor, we want you to come on Monday. The building is going to stay open later. If you are in line at 10 o'clock, you will be able to drop off. However, the building also is going to close promptly at 11 p.m. So the Philadelphia Expo Center has graciously agreed to stay open later for us, and so we must be out of that building by 11 o'clock. So do plan accordingly for what time you're going to drop off. We are also still planning to have drop-off as scheduled on Tuesday, March the 14th. Obviously, this is subject to change. So if the parking lot is not plowed or the road conditions are such that we're unable to open at 8 a.m., I will certainly communicate that with all of you. But for right now, everyone is still welcome to come on Tuesday, March the 14th from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Likewise, with that 7 p.m., you just need to be in line by 7 o'clock in order to drop your stuff off. That schedule is exactly the same as it's always been. We do have two additional drop-offs, and those are Thursday and Friday, March 16th and 17th, from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Traditionally, those drop-offs are for large items only. However, depending upon the weather, if it becomes necessary to restock our clothing and shoes, we will do that. We just are not in a position to make that call at this time. So that is the current drop-off schedule. Again, Monday, March 13th, everyone is welcome. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the procedures that we're going to be changing in order to efficiently and do a very organized manner, get everybody in and out of that building on Monday, March 13th. So the drop-off procedures, the step one is exactly the same as it's always been. You're going to check in at the front desk with your completed consignor waiver. Please do complete that at home. You will also have one item in which we will scan. We are going to verify your email address. For the spring sale, we will be emailing you your check. So you're going to get your check much faster. However, it's important that we have a valid email address for you so that you are able to get paid. So that's kind of an exciting thing, that you will be getting paid faster. We will give you your pre-sale pass, and we will give you a rack if you need one. If you don't need a rack because of some of the things I'm about to share with you, you don't need to grab a rack. Likewise, if a rack is not available, you can do the next 4 steps in any order and then just come back and grab a rack. Whether it's Tuesday or Monday, if there's any form of precipitation, one thing we recommend is when you go to bring your items into the building, they are protected. So here's an example of items. They're sorted by size and by gender, which is going to save you a lot of time, and I've talked about that repeatedly. And the next step will illustrate why that's important. But it's also important that your tags do not get wet. So if it's this snow all blows over and it's all rain, whatever it is, you want to make sure that those items are covered. So here's an example of how to do that. Step 2, and here's the big change, you are going to be placing your items onto the sales floor by size and by gender. We are not going to be doing inspection while you wait for it. Because of the volume of people we anticipate on Monday, it would just cause a very, very long line and a big backup. So we're going to do that as you drop off. Our clothing inspectors are going to be positioned in the clothing aisles so that they will be inspecting. The way we need you to put your items onto the floor is onto the top rack. So anything that's on a bottom rack will be designated with landscape tape that it has already been checked. Anything on the top rack is what we are going to inspect. So when you come in, just simply go to the clothing rack by size and gender, put your clothing onto the top rack. Your shoes will be taken to shoe inspection, which is right adjacent to the clothing. So you will see the shoe inspection area, and you will place your shoes in large boxes by size and by gender. So you're going to help to sort them. Once you throw them in the box, you are done with shoe inspection, and you can proceed to step number 4, which is placing your table items onto the floor. This is exactly the same as it's been in the past. You're going to put your toys with the toys, books, games, puzzles, whatever it is, will go to the right spot on the tables. And then finally, again, this is not a change. The large items, anything that is too big to fit into an IKEA bag, should be brought in through the back bay doors, and those will be yellow tagged. So your large items like pack and plays, any furniture, strollers, car seats, all of that will go to the back. Additionally, anything that has a polyfill, such as a stroller, car seat, boppies, pregnancy pillows, any sort of infant carriers, those must be sprayed, and those are going to go to the sanitation station, which is also in the back of the building by the bay doors. So step 4 and step 5 are exactly the same. It's steps 2 and 3 that are different. And again, I want to stress you don't need to necessarily do this in this order. So you can do your large items first, you can do your clothing second, whatever it is that works in terms of how your car is packed and the availability of racks. It's really important, and it's a good idea to consult the floor plan before you come, so you have a plan. Everything is categorized, your books are grouped together, your toys are together, and so that you can just kind of whiz in and whiz out of there. This is available for download. We will also have copies of this for you when you come to drop off. Some additional housekeeping things. First, rejected items not marked donate will be returned to you at pickup. So since we are going to be doing the inspection after you leave, anything that is not acceptable will be returned. If it is marked donate, it will automatically be donated. The team member schedule is open until 10 o'clock this evening. So if you were scheduled to work on Tuesday and you're fearful that you're not going to be able to get there, or your children's schedules change because of the snow, you can change your schedule until 10 o'clock tonight. I have added more spots for Monday because we do need more assistance on Monday in order to get everybody in and out of the building. So you can switch from Tuesday to Monday. If you haven't signed up to help yet, we would really love your help. So you can add a shift and still earn the extra 10% as well as shop early. You can bring a wagon, a suitcase with wheels, a helper. You can basically do any of those things to help expedite bringing your items into the building. Because we're not inspecting the way we traditionally do, you don't have to bring your clothing in with a rolling rack. You can bring it in another manner because you're just going to be putting it up onto the sales floor. That's usually where we have the bottleneck, is people waiting for a rolling rack. So if we eliminate some of that, then hopefully your time will be more used efficiently, and you won't have to be waiting for that rolling rack. Please be considerate and kind, and what I mean by that is there is only one rolling rack per consignor. So if you bring a helper, both you and your helper cannot have a rolling rack. There's only enough for one rolling rack per person, and sometimes we do run out. So please be thoughtful of your fellow consigners. Likewise, when you are finished with your rack, please bring that back up to the front of the building so the next person in line has access to that rack. And finally, be safe. We don't want you to be driving in hazardous conditions. Hopefully, having this drop off extended on Monday will help you. There's 0% chance of snow at this time on Monday. Of course, that's subject to change too, but your safety is important to us. And so if you can't make it there on Monday, you can't make it there on Tuesday, we still have Thursday and Friday, and the sale will go on as planned. So please be sure to share that information with your friends. Tell them that there are no changes to the schedule from Wednesday through Sunday, and we are anticipating a great sale. Our signups are through the roof for the pre-sales, and I'm confident that if you can get your items there, they will be sold. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, please do call, email, or text me. Otherwise, I will see you at the sale very soon.